Hey guys, welcome back to Interim Gardens. Today is May 5th, 2021. It's a chilly 57 degrees Fahrenheit here in Tennessee, Zone 7. And today we're going to be doing our first full garden tour. Alright, so quick reminder, all of these plants were started indoors from seeds this year. This is year one, the first growing season of this garden. My wife and I bought this house and moved in November. We spent the winter putting in the beds, starting our seeds indoors, and we got everything planted out just 2 weeks ago. So keep in mind, everything is fresh and new and young here, which, when you have a more established garden, you have some advantages because you have seeds that have dropped from last year's crops. So you get plants starting earlier, you get flowers earlier, or you'll have perennial plants in the ground that get more established and grow. So it's only going to get better and better with time. But keep in mind, this is year one. So if you're a new gardener just starting out, this is something that you can accomplish as well. All right, so here's the start of the garden tour. And it starts with this hops plant. This is a Cascade hops. This is its second year of growth. Now, I just told you we started everything indoors, but this is a plant that we took from our last garden because you can actually dig up the root. It's called a rhizome. It's a big mass of roots, and you can plant and replant your hops that way. The same for this hops over here. This is a summer shandy variety. Now, the rhizome that we dug up on this one was much smaller, and as you can see, this plant has a little bit less vigor. But the idea is for both of these to grow up along the string and to kind of cover this little archway. All right, we have a little mint pot here. This is peppermint, chocolate mint, and sweet mint. Now these we did buy as starts because we wanted mint right away, and seeds can kind of take a while. But after that, everything else is now fully started from seed here. All right, so we're walking into our little archway, and what we have planted down here is our Hyacinth Bean. So this is a big flowering vine that's gonna trail all along there. It's gonna be a real nice entrance. We have this is a Patio Choice Yellow Tomato. It's doing well. We have a couple ground cherries over here. This is the Schoenbrunn Gold variety. All right, and then this bed over here, these are all of our greens. We have some really nice red Russian kale. Our dinosaur kale next to it. We have 3 different types of lettuces. This is our Tatsoi. We've been harvesting this and enjoying it in some different dishes. Got a broccoli rapini. This one's called a Chiji Masai, which is related to the Tatsoi over there. As you can see, they look very similar. Now check out this arugula. This is interesting. This is 2 different types of arugula. We started them at the same time, and you can see how much smaller these are. This is a wasabi arugula, and man, you eat one of these little leaves and it tastes exactly like wasabi. Then you have your just regular arugula there. Got some green onions, some daisies growing here. This is actually a weed that popped up, but it has some little flower heads coming on, so I didn't want to take it off. I'm not sure what that's going to be, but I'm leaving it until it flowers to see if I want to keep it or not. I'll probably take it out after that. And a couple more kales on the end here. This is a feathered frills variety. And the curled scotch. And then check out our wall of peas here. This is actually 4 different pea varieties. We have a Wando pea, which is a smaller one on the corner here. This is the big King Tut purple, which I saw earlier, the first little bloom. See that, we're getting a little bloom there. This is a regular sugar snap pea over here, which, as you can see, didn't really do great on the germination. That was a solid planting of peas, but only a couple came up. But this sugar magnolia tendril pea, man, that's a champ. That's growing real well. Forgot to note that next to the mint here, we have these scarlet runner beans growing up here. Look at these really pretty red flowers. That's gonna be real nice. Of course, this trellis is not even tall enough. It's already at the top and circling around our little metal bird there. All right, so we have a lychee tomato here. So I have this in the pot still because I'm not quite sure where I'm gonna put it. If you can see, look at the spikes on this thing, man. That is gnarly. And I don't want my kids to get poked by that, so we gotta find a place a little bit out of the way, but I'm not quite sure where to put it. But just doing fine in this pot for now. These are our ground cherries, our bachelor button flowers, some tiny little poppy sprouts, our eggplant, some basils, some little stuff. I won't go into every single sprout because it's, you know, they kind of all look the same, but some stuff is coming up and is further along than others. Another ground cherry. These two are just kind of hanging out. I need to find a big pot or something for those. There's a Thai basil. And here's our little row of peppers. Look at these guys doing real nice. I really love the look of these darker varieties. It's really pretty. Got a little leaf damage there. Honestly, I think that might have been the chickens got in here and snipped at those a little bit. Yes, I'm talking about you. All right, check out our row of tomatoes. Man, these guys are doing really good. See that whole back wall? So they're all going to grow up, each one of them, up these stakes. So I just have to really stay on top of pruning these tomatoes because they are planted pretty close together. They're only about a foot apart, which there's a lot of conflicting information on that about how far you should space them. Some say like 18 inches minimum, 20 inches, but others say you can totally plant them a foot apart, but you just have to stay on top of pruning them. And if you just keep them to one stem, then it should be fine. And that's what I'm hoping for. That's what I'm gonna be doing this year. These are our bush beans, the dragon tongue, the borlato. Those are doing good. Some other little flowers. Look at this beautiful variegated nasturtium. It's really pretty. I think that's the Alaska mix. Another tomato there. All right, and this bed's coming to life. So here's our glass gem corn. Probably about 6 inches tall. Our beets. This is the kohlrabi. Come around on the other side. So these are grown for this little bulb at the bottom, which is interesting because it doesn't grow underground like a beet or a radish, but so you have the stem here and then the bulb grows on top of that, and then you wait till this gets the size of like a tennis ball and then you eat that. So that's really pretty with those purple stems. And the leaves taste pretty good too. Just tastes like kale. This is our borage. Okay, check out these carrots. I planted them in like interesting little lines, which I'm gonna have to thin out, but look, it looks like FF. It's like 2 letters there. It's pretty funny. But good germination on these carrots. Those are really nice looking. I'm definitely gonna have to thin them though. Some other little sprouts. That's our strawberry spinach, toothache plant. Check out these okra, doing well. Got the heavy hitter okra, the hill country, the burgundy red, and the Jing orange there. So I'm excited about that big wall of okra right there. They'll get really tall. Then we have some sweet corn over here. This is a buckwheat. These are pretty. Have these nice little red veins in there. All right, in this bed we have our radishes. Look at the size of that guy. It's looking good. There's a couple different varieties of radishes in there. This is another borage. This is dahlia bulbs that we planted. Those are coming up nicely. And then check out this grass here. This is actually a barley. This is a black hulless barley. That's really pretty. So we're growing hops and barley. A couple different types of fennel. This is the bronze fennel. Let's see if I can get it to focus there. That's real pretty. Got some dill, and then a classic Florence fennel over there, the green variety. These are our basils in the front. A couple different kinds. This lettuce leaf basil gets really big, has these crinkly leaves. It's really pretty. The Mamelo basil, purple opal basil. I think that's the cardinal basil over there. The holy basil is not doing so good. It's just so tiny. Probably gonna have to plant some more seeds there. And then these are the last of the starts. These are the last of the guys to go into the ground. I planted some extra shishito peppers here. These are our Mexican sunflowers. This is the roselle. And a couple other sunflowers there as well. And then speaking of sunflowers, we did have one volunteer from the previous owner's garden, which was this sunflower. And it was growing over there in that bed. I transplanted it to this bucket. And my idea was to have a nice big sunflower in the middle growing up here and with the peas around it. And that's working out pretty well. These are a sugar daddy pea, so they get only about that tall. And then we'll have the sunflower popping up here, growing up there. And I think that'll look really nice. But the peas are kind of catching up to it and holding on to it. So it needs to grow quick. But I like that. All right, now let me show you the herb bed over here. Another tomato there. This is our little herb spiral. Not really a spiral, but a little herb round. We have our thyme, oregano, parsley. It's the curled parsley. Cilantro. This is the bee balm lemon. Be used in teas and stuff. Planted some chives over here. And I think this is lemon balm. Planted lemon balm there and some chamomile here. And then check out the strawberry planter. Been enjoying eating fresh strawberries on this. I'm looking around. I don't see any ripe ones yet. They do not last long. It's a favorite thing of the kids. They come out here and find the red strawberries and they eat them immediately, which is great. They enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. We had a little trouble with ants biting them as well, but that's okay. We get to them usually before they do. Those are a Sweet Charlie, is the variety of strawberries there. And then we do have our cucumbers sprouting as well. Hey, Poppy. What do you think of this garden? This chicken tunnel has been great. It's a really nice feature that we put in here. Allows them to free range, or at least be out more. Get some fresh grass, scratch around in that wood chips. It's really nice. Give them some extra shade there. And well, that's really the whole garden. It's not huge, but it's a lot of stuff crammed into a pretty small space. But we should get a lot from this small space. You can really You can really get a lot of production if you just plant smart, plant them tight. Here's a radish starting to go to flower, which is really good. We grow these green varieties. We don't like to eat them, but we grow them for their flowers. So there you go. Well, I guess that's the whole tour. Like I said, it's a pretty small space, but we're fitting a lot of plants in this area. And I just want to inspire you guys all to get planting yourself if you haven't already. It's not too late, it's still early enough. You can get some plants in the ground. If you don't want to start seeds, just go buy some plants from the store, put them in the ground. It's a lot of fun, very enjoyable. And I'm going to be doing these updates pretty regularly so you can watch my plants grow. And I hope your plants are growing just as well. Have a great day, guys. Thanks again for watching. Catch you next time.